Hey guys, it's Jean-Claude, and today's deck opening is going to be for Keith Philibin. He's a $25 patron. So good luck to you, and thank you for being a patron. Let's see if you get something sweet. We have had some pretty odd decks in this box so far. We had a 26 creature deck, which was, I think, actually pretty good. And we've had a few stinkers, but overall it's been okay. Logos is your first house, Blue Archon. Shadows. And Untamed. Oh, see, Untamed has been very, very iffy in this box. Name of the deck is Jordan Pathfinder Georabbit. If you play Pathfinder, this is the deck for you. Got the turtle body, pretty cool. I think it's the first time I've seen those arms. Those are interesting. Pretty wild. We also have like the turtle legs. It almost looks like a Martian head we've had in the past. Actually, that's not a Martian head. That's like a ninja head right there. All right, let's see what you have. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, I'll have a link in the description. Check it out. Every little bit helps. Okay, we are starting off with Untamed. It's the common cold. Amber, whenever you play it, deal 1 damage to each creature. You may destroy all Mars creatures. You know, something funny. We have these cards that do something very specific to certain houses. These houses can rotate now, so this card actually... it's still good because it does 1 damage to each creature, which can maybe combo with some other cards. Destroying all Mars creatures actually kind of becomes a little bit worse in the future if it just so happens your opponent's playing with the 3rd set. So, that's interesting to think about. Roxador, 4 power skirmish, only deals 2 damage when fighting. Fight, stun the attacked creature. Pam Paka Jaga, 3 power skirmish. Creatures to the left of Pam Paka Jaga in the battle line gain skirmish. Interesting effect. Chota Hazri, 3 power. Play, lose 1 amber. If you do, you may forge a key at current cost. Song of Spring, amber, whenever you play it, shuffle any number of friendly untamed creatures from your hand, discard pile or battle line back into your deck. Oh, okay, save the pack. Destroy each damaged creature, gain 1 chain. Unfortunately, not as good as combining They're Everywhere with save the pack, but this is going to at least be a board wipe if you do the common cold plus save the pack. And you have 2 save the packs. Rust Nars, 4 power, fight, destroy an artifact. If that artifact had an amber bonus, you gain that much amber. Nox is 3 power and gets plus 3 power for each neighbor it has. And another Nox. Grove Keeper, it's all about power in Age of Ascension's Untamed. Grove Keeper's 3 power, at the end of your turn, give each neighboring creature a +1 power counter. Darna, 2 power, play, gain 1 amber for each damaged friendly creature. Reap, heal 2 damage from a friendly creature. Okay, now we do have a good combo with the common cold. This will allow you to get at least 1 amber for every creature you have out because you play the common cold, damage all of them, then drop down to Darna. That's pretty good. Now we're on to Shadows, and I have not seen this card yet. It's Lethal Distraction, amber, whenever you play it. Choose creature for the remainder of the turn. Whenever this creature takes damage, it takes an additional 2 damage. Kind of an odd card, but I guess there is quite a few cards that damage now inside Shadows. At least you get the amber whenever you play it with a chance of, I guess, combining this with another card to take out a bigger creature. Ooh, too much to protect. Amber, whenever you play it, steal all but 6 of your opponent's amber. This has easily become the best amber control. Well, this and like Doorstep to Heaven are probably the top 2 right now, so it's nice to see. Perplexing Sophistry, 1 amber whenever you play it. If you have more amber than your opponent, they discard a random card from their hand, and you draw a card. That is such a good card. Whistling Darts, amber, whenever you play it. Play, deal 1 damage to each enemy creature. Okay, you combine that with that Lethal Distraction there, so you at least do 3 damage to a certain creature. And another Whistling Darts. Ronnie Wrist Clocks, 2 power, play, steal 1 amber. If your opponent has 7 more amber, you get to steal 2 instead. Such a good card. Oh, and you have 2 of them. Hold up. Come on, give us 3. Oh, it's not a 3rd, but Nerve Blast is fantastic. Steal an amber. If you do, you deal 2 damage to a creature. Miasma. Oh, this with too much to protect is a fantastic combo. Amber, whenever you play it, your opponent skips the forge key step on their next turn. Ooh. Your opponent has to make that decision. Are they going to slow themselves down and basically give up a turn of amber? Or do they risk you following this up with too much to protect on the next turn? Oh, love the situation that creates. Lemindra, 1 power, deploy an elusive. Lemindra's neighbors gain elusive. Knuckles Bolton, 3 power, elusive, and skirmish. Gamgee is 2 power, elusive. Reap, if your opponent has more amber than you steal 1. So a little bit of, oh, okay, that's the end of Shadows, but we had a decent amount of steal inside of it. Entropic Swirl. Play, choose a creature for each trait that creature has, deal 2 damage, and gain an amber. Almost always able to get 2 amber off that card. It's very rare you're only going to get 1. Seismo Entangler, it's an artifact. Action, choose a house. During your opponent's next turn, creatures of that chosen house cannot be used or reap. Research Smoko, 2 power, destroyed. Archive the top card of your deck. Hold on, I feel like there was another deck in this box that had started off with these exact 3 cards. That is so weird. You got a rare, an uncommon, and then I believe Research Smoke was also uncommon. Yeah, it is. The odds of these three being in a row, I mean, I feel like it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely feel like we've had a deck in this box that had these first three cards. Wait a minute. Was that the next card? Come on. No way. I'm going to have to go back and watch that video. It might have been the last one, the one before. Quantum Finger Trap. It's an artifact. Amber, whenever you play it. Action. Swap the positions of two creatures in a battle line. Wild Wormhole. Amber, whenever you play it, play the top card of your deck. If there's a second Wild Wormhole here. Okay. Helper Bot. 1 power play. You may play 1 non-logos card this turn. Cutthroat Research, Amber, whenever you play it. Steal 2 Amber if your opponent has 8 or more. So even if you don't have too much to protect, you can still miasma them. Followed up with the Cutthroat Research to at least get 3 Amber off this 1 card. Pretty solid. Binate Rupture Alpha. Play. Each player gains Amber equal to the Amber in their pool. Let's see. So we didn't have interdimensional graft, but with the amount of steel and things we have in here, you might be able to get ahead and then plop this down. Hopefully you have 3 Amber. Maybe your opponent has 1. Immediately put yourself up to 6. Your opponent then has 2. You're okay with that. A second Binate Rupture. Something about these alpha cards, I just would much rather have them like spread out amongst my houses. I don't like having 2 inside the same house. I feel like it's too often that I almost have to discard the other one, but I guess it's okay. Not too bad if you only have maybe 1 card you have to discard in your deck. Oh gosh, there's a third Binate Rupture. Oh my lord. Well, I really hope you're able to use maybe 2 out of these 3. Don't tell me there's a 4th one. If there's a 4th one, I'm walking away. We're done here. Okay, it's not. It's Archimedes, though. 2 power elusive. Each of Archimedes' neighbors gains destroyed. Archive this creature. Real quick comment. I know they had made a weird ruling where it could suddenly archive your entire battle line if it was up against like a destroy all creatures effect. I think that was an odd ruling. I understood why they made that, but I do like how they went back and it only archives its neighbors. I think that was smart of them. So yeah, some of you might be upset that you have this insane Archimedes deck that could suddenly archive your entire battle line and destroy all of your opponent's boards, but I think this is how the card was intended to be played, and it's still a pretty good card. And last card, oh, it's another Archimedes. Very nice. Alright, so let's go back through this deck. Let's get our Amber up. Oh gosh, Binate Ruptures. Alright, I think there was a decent amount of Amber. It wasn't too insane, but the steel definitely helped out. Yeah, those 2 Ronnie wrist clocks. So good. Oh, a decent amount inside of Shadows. Plus, I think this Darna, if you hold on to the Common Cold and wait for this card, that can be a huge burst of Amber. How much, I'm not sure yet. But it's pretty good. Rustnar can sometimes get you Amber, but not reliable. Although Rustnar with the Pampaka Jaga does at least give it skirmish, so it can stay around more often to do that, which is pretty neat. You got 1, 2. I'm going to call this at least 2. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wow, 20 is a really solid number. And there, as I said, there's a little bit of combos within there that could make it a little bit more. Sometimes Ronnie wrist clocks can steal 2, so that could add up to some more. Combined with Tropic Swirl, I think there's going to eventually be some creatures that have more than 2 traits, so this could eventually add up to a little bit more as well. Once again, the Research combined with Miasma, that could be a 3. So that's actually a really solid Amber count. I like seeing that much Amber, and there was a decent amount of Amber control. As a matter of fact, let's just pull that up. Too much Protect we talked about. Let's see, Ronnie wrist clocks times 2. Miasma, it slows them down. It's not necessarily Amber control, but it might work out pretty well with the other cards we have to combo it with. And once again, I never count Cutthroat Research. Even though it does steal, it's not taking them off a key. So for your counts, it can just be bonus if you do want to count it as steal. So you got kind of a half of a card here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5 cards. You could maybe call it 5 with the Cutthroat, but I don't think I'll count that. So that's not too bad. For some reason, man, AOA, I just never seem to get that much. Gamgee can sometimes get you an additional 1, so we'll call it around 5 Amber control. Not too bad. Let's pull up the creatures so we can get a better look at those. Unfortunately, I think Lamindra, most of the creatures that we're worried about with awesome effects already have elusive on them, like that Gamgee. So let's see what we can do. And same with Archimedes, already has elusive. So it's not really going to add anything to it. And you want your Research Smoko dead. But I guess you can maybe make the Noxes, where they're even harder to kill. Make them have to waste the whole entire fight before they can even start damaging it. And with 9 power, they're really large. And the Grove Keeper can also sometimes take them up, so that's pretty good. So we have 1, 5, 10, 15, 17 creatures. Right about the average. That's actually pretty good. So 20 amber, 17 creatures is pretty nice. These binate ruptures, man, that is a shame. But actually, I guess if this deck, if you can time your steals well, keep them lower. I said, get yourself maybe 3 or 4 amber. Catch them when they only have 1 amber. These are pretty usable. We'll just throw those down there, though. Save the packs. I said, at least you can combine it to be a board wipe. You do have a lot of smaller creatures, so there's a good chance if your opponent has a big Brobnar or Sanctum deck, and even sometimes Mars can have some bigger creatures, this might be your best answer. Let's say they decide to control maybe a Gamgee, a Lamindra, they take a few points of damage on a couple of their creatures. It's definitely worth 1 chain to get those bigger creatures off the board. That we can repopulate your board with your smaller creatures, and you're essentially taking them off the turn because they actually lost all the creatures from the board. So yeah, we talked about a little bit of those combos. Pepeka Jaga actually kind of helps as well. Maybe you give your untamed creature Skirmish, be able to swing into several of your opponent's creatures, and then save the packet, so that's pretty good. Save the packet's actually a little bit better in this deck than expected. Roxador also has Skirmish to kind of help with that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, actually. I kind of like that interaction. The Skirmish. Yeah, the Save the Packs actually have a lot of different things they can do in here. And the Darna, I think Darna might be the best card. You really got to hold on to the Common Cold. Pile up a bunch of Amber. And then if you still need to, then play Save the Pack. Destroying all the creatures except for Darna. And maybe a couple that only had 1 point of damage on them. That's pretty good. I do like that interaction quite a bit. Alright, let's look for something with this Helper Bot. Is there anything we could do that combos very well that's outside of Logos that we want to use on a Logos turn? I mean, sometimes it's just as good just being able to steal while you call Logos. Go through, play some other things, slow them down with this Seismo Entangler. Oh, it's another Amber Control card. Slow them down a little bit, play your Entropic Swirl, play a couple different things, play those Logos creatures like Archimedes, and then just being able to play like too much to protect on the Logos turn is pretty nice. So overall, it's a pretty good deck. It seems to be fairly average though. I do love that there's 2 Ronnie Wrist Clocks. I feel like I only ever open 1 or 0 in my Shadows decks. And I have seen some people that have 3 of these, but it's very nice anytime you have 2. And yeah, Nerve Blast is just an all-around great card. Oh, it takes care of problem creatures all the while stealing. The real downside of this deck is the Binate Ruptures. It's a shame you got 3 of them. Would love to see 2 max. That third one, you're out of there as well. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of Bad Pennies. Sometimes you gotta get rid of Binate Ruptures or other alpha cards. Alright, so the rating for this deck, I'm gonna give it a C+. It's a little bit above average, I think just because of those interactions. I think having those kind of bigger plays, these better combos that you can put together does make it a little bit of a better deck. I would have loved to rate it higher, but I'm a little bit nervous that the creatures overall have a lower power. They do have elusive to kind of help them survive, but I think that is going to be a problem this deck will encounter because there's just sometimes, there's a lot of decks out there, Ammonia Clouds, Poison Waves, there's a lot of things that can deal with the smaller creatures now. And I feel like a lot of those decks are prominent right now because Shadows is so big. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.